Happy Halloween, guys! My name is Lori and welcome to The Icing Artist. So to make our pumpkin, I'm starting off with a saucer pan. I've baked two sides of it and I've just dyed my cake orange. For all of my recipes, you can go to theicingartist.com. I have free printable versions there. You're going to want to fill your cake using some buttercream icing. Now to support this cake, I'm going to have to dowel it and add a cake plate in just to support the weight of the second layer, almost like we're making a tiered cake. So using 1/4 inch dowels, I'm just going to mark the height and then insert 4 of them. And then stick my 6-inch cake plate right on top and then cover that up using some buttercream icing. This is going to take all the weight and pressure off my bottom layer. Add that right on top. I'm just going to mark the height of the cake and I'm going to cut 3 dowels to that height and sharpen the one end. And that's so when I hammer them through, they're going to hammer right through that middle plate and into the bottom cake board. Now I'm going to mark some ridges in my cake because pumpkins aren't perfectly round like soccer balls. They have some ridges in them. So I'm going to mark them on the top and bottom and then almost cut little V's out of it. So cutting inwards on both sides on an angle, you're just going to cut these little kind of slits out of your pumpkin. As you can see that bright orange color underneath. And I'm just going to fill the center a little bit more using the buttercream icing. And that's to eliminate any kind of air bubbles that we might get in the future. Now this cake I'm going to be covering in orange fondant, so I just want to give it a crumb coat using some buttercream. Now using a piece of paper towel, I'm going to smooth out that crumb coat. So just going over the top and sides in the center. And you're just kind of pushing down with a piece of paper towel and pulling it off, and that's going to leave you a nice and smooth finish. Now I'm just going to mist that using some water, and that's so my fondant can stick to it nicely. You're going to need about 4 pounds of fondant for this. So I'm going to roll out my orange fondant. I'm just rolling that out on some icing sugar so it doesn't stick to my surface. I'm going to flip it occasionally. Roll that over my rolling pin and then roll that back over my cake. And you're just going to want to kind of rub the fondant into those different creases that we've created and also be pulling your fondant out and kind of stretching it in and pulling it tightly underneath your pumpkin. And just use your hands rubbing over the pumpkin until it's nice and smooth and completely covered. Then I'm just going to roughly trim off some of this excess. And then kind of come closer and do more of a final trim. Now to cover up that seam and just give it a little border, I've just rolled out a thin log of orange fondant and I'm just going to wrap that around my cake. And to finish this cake off, we're going to need a stem. So you want 2 ounces of brown fondant and you're going to roll it almost into a really fat cone shape and flattening out the one end. Once you've got a nice cone, I'm just going to twist it up a bit. And then I'm just using my nails and I'm just kind of rough it up, just kind of make it more look like bark and a little bit more rustic so it's not as clean cut looking. And then using some water, I'm just going to stick that right on top of my pumpkin. And then finally, just to dress up my cake a little bit, I've made some of these fall leaves. You can click here if you'd like to see how to make those. I'm just going to place those around my pumpkin. Or to make it extra special, you could make this 3D witch. If you'd like to see how I made her in a previous video, you can click here to see the full video on how to make her start to finish. I had so much fun making this cake. It's super festive for either Thanksgiving or Halloween, so I hope you guys really liked it. And don't forget to check out that 3D witch character because she turned out really good and you guys will be able to do it at home. I promise you, she's not that difficult. Anyways, if you guys aren't currently subscribed to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and like and share and comment and do all those other kind of fun things. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful Halloween. Bye everybody.